having the possibility to actually give feedback, I think this is really rare.
You're gonna end up with a product from the best sim drivers in the world about a sim driving game. I mean, it doesn't really need anything else, I think.
Well, yet again, another welcome to everybody. I am joined here by Nina, the manager of eSports from Porsche Motorsports, as well as Enzo from the side of Team Redline. How are you both doing? How does it feel being here at ESL R1? I'll start with you.
Really good. So thank you for having us here, but also on this stage. I think it's really, really cool being finally here, back on an offline event, seeing everybody of the competition. Lots of fun, lots of racing ahead. So I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me as well. And the stage looks amazing. People around are doing a great job. And yeah, it's great to be here.
Well, for your side, Enzo, it must be particularly special being here after winning the first Summit race. So how does that feel for you? And then also, you know, team championship winner.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's been almost a year since we first had a look at RENNSPORT, and so many things actually changed and happened. And yeah, I've been like the first winner, let's say, of the first actual race, and it's really nice to be like a part of a little bit of a history of RENNSPORT. And yeah, but as I said, lots of things changed since then, and it's really cool to see how it's progressing and going.
Well, talk to me a little bit more about what the experience has been like for the two of you. Obviously, being a part of a game, a competition, for a game that hasn't actually even been released yet. How's that process been?
Maybe I start like from team perspective, or like also from the automotive perspective. I mean, in general, it's super interesting to be part of that whole process of developing, making everything better, and also having the possibility to actually give feedback. I think this is really rare, and it's a great chance to create a product together. On the other hand, I mean, like, you can tell about your driver perspective. I think that's a different challenge there. But us coming from automotive, I mean, like, we at Porsche kind of make the same while creating racing cars, so making the sporting side, and then but also creating cars for the road. So this is kind of the same transformation that we're doing there. So this is something that we know, but I think for you it's pretty new.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a sim driver now for a couple of years, it's been nice to see how the LAN events have been progressing, and I think so far this is the third one, we can say, because we had one last year, then one at Katowice, and then this should be the third one. So I think it's just really cool to see like how you compare it also to other LAN events. Because, you know, as a sim driver for many years, like, I have been part of many of them, and it's really nice to see how RENNSPORT is actually like having 12 rigs around here and actually managing to, you know, every single one being actually really similar to each other. I don't think I've seen that anywhere else, to be fair. And yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, just as a sim racer perspective, and also as content in general, like the ESL round one social account is doing, you know, all the memes and all the, yeah, you don't see that nowadays in sim racing. We really need that type of stuff, to be fair, and it's really cool to see. Yeah.
Well, from the development standpoint, obviously you said it's been almost about a year now that you've experienced RENNSPORT for the first time. So in terms of development, what kind of input have the two of you had ultimately with continuing to help this grow?
Well, the drivers are constantly speaking to the developers. Mm-hmm. So like, they pretty much in this season, I think, have 12 of the best teams in the world, and they also have like around 50 drivers. Like, they are literally like the best in the world, and it's actually like, I mean, nice because they have the best group together that actually speaks to the devs, and it's making progress day after day. You know, if something is wrong, we report to them, or they actually listen to us. They come and ask us. So I mean, what's better than that? You know, you're gonna end up with a product from the best sim drivers in the world about a sim driving game. I mean, it doesn't really need anything else, I think so.
Yeah, and I think if we also add like even more perspectives on like developing a product, I think like having all those drivers giving feedback to developers like essential for making this game really great. But also on the bigger perspective, like we have the greatest esports teams in there. We have like great automotive companies in there, and like there's so much experience that we can use to make this product even greater and better. And I think this is like really, like I said earlier, like the biggest advantage of the open ear that RENNSPORT really has there for the experience and suggestions that all stakeholders have.
So obviously the drivers are all open with all of the feedback and communication for the developers as well, but from a motorsport standpoint, from a business perspective, what kind of input do you have and the entire team have to the development of RENNSPORT?
I mean, it's super interesting for us to see now a series developing in the virtual world, and I think we can see a lot of parallels there, but also differences. And I think also we as a team, like participating in ESL R1, are trying to really make a use case out of those things that we have learned in real motorsports. But also, I don't know, coming from business relations side, commercial side, and so on and so on. I mean, we did quite a lot of that stuff already, and I think that is some experience that we can bring in.
So obviously with ESL R1 being as fabulous as it is right now, it's very rare that we see an offline event on this scale for sim racing. So what kind of differences, key differences, have the two of you seen, particularly when comparing to ESL R1?
I mean, of course, on our side, we are mainly used to see a car perform, right? When you're at racetrack, you see the car, you don't really see the driver while driving. And I think this is so great to have, because of sim racing, but also because of an offline event in sim racing, actual the chance to like, I don't know, like to touch the driver. I would never do that maybe, but you're like super close to the drivers. You can see their emotions, you can see them hustling. And I think this is so great because you're so close to the human behind the wheel.
How about for you, Enzo?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, you speak to like almost all the drivers, you know, from home online. I mean, you just, you know, you race and then you talk to them. Maybe you play some other games with a few of the others, you know, even. But when you're here, you just, you know, they are competitors, but at the end of the day, I mean, you just, you have a drink together even. It's not, unless someone takes you out. No. But no, I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, you just have a drink with everybody. And, you know, after the racing is done, there is maybe just, you know, the after party, you drink, you know, everybody becomes friends. No, it's just great. We need to have more of these. I know it's hard, like, because you see, like, all the work that's been done here, it's probably like months and months of work, right? It's just doesn't happen in one day. So, yeah, when it happens, we also, as a sim racer, not only from like the worker sides, we need to make sure that everything is good. So we need to do our part, you know, on stage and off stage. So I think we are a good community, and yeah, we keep going forward, and yeah, hopefully we have a good weekend of great racing, and lots of people come and cheer for us, and yeah, let's hope.
But I think it's like so great that this community really gets the stage.
Yeah,
because I know you're only used to having like races at home mainly. I think like you have joined lots of LAN events already, but to bring this community on stage and give them like the awareness.
Yeah. Well, I'm comparing to during the online rounds, Enzo, we saw a lot of drivers getting incredibly animated, a little bit frustrated along the way as well. Is there mind games that kind of come into play here if you start to show that amount of emotion, frustration and things like that? Do you see it out the corner of your eye and you go, you know what, he's already rattled?
Nah, I think it's going to happen here as well. I mean, you probably see some drivers maybe throw some keyboards around, you know, if they've miss a quali lap, or if, you know, there's something like crash happening in the race. At the end of the day, you know, nerves, you know, every racing driver does that. You can see, like, even on the radio in some of the races, in real races, like, but nah, it's fine. I think it's part of the sport, right? And I think we're gonna see it happen. Yes, I like bet myself like 100%. But it's good to see. As long as people don't fight each other, it's fine, right?
Well, what has the highlight been for the two of you for the ESL R1 spring season thus far?
I think what was really, really great is after months, and for RENNSPORT, of course, also years talking about a product, developing, constantly making it better, it really seeing come to life in Katowice. I think that was really great to have everybody there on stage, see the product come to life, and to finally have something to touch, actually, and not only talking about it. That was definitely the highlight, because we finally could like kick off what we have been talking about.
Well,
Your highlight for ESL R1, I already know the answer.
We are obviously team champions. I mean, come on, where is my team right now? I don't even know. But well, we did a great job. I mean, I think it's the best, right? Highlight probably for me. I'm a little bit I'm a little bit disappointed with myself because, yeah, not the way I wanted to be on the major, as in P13. You know, and now I have to work myself off like I have to hard work myself off in the next races. So, but I mean, from home I got a couple of podiums, you know, and yeah. But in general, just you know, the team championship is really cool to have, and yeah, as a first season, I guess also. It's cool to be the champion as in first season, no?
Driver champion.
Driver's champion.
Is that on the cards now as well?
We have another highlight coming up, and then we'll see how the Drivers' Championship will be decided.
Okay, all right, I'm intrigued.
Is this a challenge between...
It's always a challenge.
It's always a challenge.
Where is my teammate Bennett?
He needs backup right now. But talking a bit more about the journey of RENNSPORT, obviously so much has adapted, so much has changed. Enzo's already lost it right now, but talking a little bit more about that, what additions would you like to see? Obviously, we've seen a lot, heard a lot about closed beta access. What about moving forward? Any additions that you want to see being made to the tournament format?
Well, I think we need to have something different than just, you know, 20 minutes qualifying and then a long race. Because, yes, that might be good from a driver perspective, but I think maybe from a show point of view, some people might get bored of it. I don't know. It's very tough with these things. I think the format is good the way it is right now. Obviously, the one lap in qualifying we have, it might not make justice for some drivers because, you know, and you can see like some of the drivers actually won a race, a final in one round, and then in the next round they are out in a quarterfinal. So I think maybe just make 2 laps in quarter and semi-final, and then super pole only in a final, you know. So at least you give some people that are a little bit, you know, they have a little tiny bit of a margin in qualifying, have a second lap if they made a little mistake in the first one. But other than that, I mean, yeah, the races are short, but you see a lot of fighting. And maybe just you know, longer the races by 2 or 3 laps, but I won't do it by much longer. But yeah, it's just probably qualifying.
I would just probably love to win the team championship also on stage. So have the team championship decided on stage, but then also win it, of course. But that would be, I think, would be a great addition for the season.
My final question for the two of you is, describe the ESL R1 experience as a whole in 3 words.
You go first.
Thinking cap on now, Enzo.
Well, well, impressive because, you know, obviously all the work that's been done is really impressive. From a driver point of view, stressful. Because, you know, you come into the weekend always like the stress, like you know, you think all about it, all type of stuff. But I think as a third one, it was fun. It's just fun, you know. In general, like this type of events or all together here, it's literally fun. Like we are all friends at the end of the day after the race, as I said. And it's really cool to see each other, to hang out with everybody.
For me, it would probably be innovative, entertaining, and competitive. And I would really like to add something like to what Enzo said in the end, because I think this is what is really special. What we can feel also at these live events is that, of course, we are all competitors and everybody wants to win, but in the end, we're still kind of teammates in making this product a bit better, greater. And it's really nice to, like you said, like you race against each other, but you still have a drink together also. So that's really nice.
I think it's really a beautiful sentiment, not only for the entire, ESL R1 circuit, but also sim racing as a whole as well. You guys have a fantastic community here, and super excited to get things started with the major. So thank you both so much for joining me, and it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.